D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? Okay, so this is going to be my review for Legends of Tomorrow Season 3. And let me just tell you right now, to start off, this season wasn't that bad. It wasn't, like, the best, but it was pretty good. I liked, there was a lot of things I liked, and there's some things that I didn't like, and we're going to go over all of it right now. So I just want to start by saying that the thing that I really love about this show the most is that it doesn't take itself too seriously. I think that that's really great. I think that it braces its comic bookiness, but yet it kind of has a serious tone with some of the things that go on in the show and the things that they talk about. And we'll get into a little bit about that later on in the episode. One thing that they did have in this season that I absolutely hated, and it had the worst episode of the entire show so far, and that was Bebo, the God of War. Bebo is the dumbest thing added to this show, and I know a lot of fans have liked this element added to the show, but I absolutely hate it. I think it's stupid. There's no point. It wasted a complete episode on that stupid Bebo crap and going back to the Vikings and being the God of War. It was so dumb. The dumbest thing on the planet. If you liked it, you have a character flaw, and I'm sorry, but that's just the truth of it. So I hope they never bring that thing back. I hope they put it in a dead guy's pocket and bury it. One thing that I didn't like about this season also is that it felt really rushed to me. I felt like the beginning of the season kind of took its time in developing, and then all of a sudden it's like, boom, we need to get these totems out there, we need to explain the totems, and we need to get the legends to have a totem, one to have the totem each, so that way we can just real quick rush this season along. And I think that it didn't take its time, I feel like the past seasons have, because I don't know what they were doing when they were writing it. It really felt rushed in my opinion, especially the back half. And then I need to talk about Firestorm because Firestorm was a big part of Season 1 and Season 2. I liked Firestorm. I liked both Stein and Jax. I thought they were great characters. I loved the Firestorm character. I was bummed when Jax left, which I want to talk real quick about Jax. One thing about Jax that the actor that plays Jax is he does not know how to cry. I'm sorry, when Stein died, which he didn't do a good death scene, but when he died, every time that actor started crying, and I don't know his name off the top of my head, every time he started crying, I'm all like, this looks fake as shit. I'm telling you what, it didn't look good, and I didn't like it. And normally I like that actor. I think he does a great job on the show, but the crying scenes were awful. 100%. But I really am bummed that Firestorm is leaving the show. I understand that the actor that played Stein, he went on to do a Broadway show, and I understand that actors gotta, they've gotta feel, like they're evolving and they're doing something different, or they just, but me personally, I would ride that money train to the bank and I would stay on Legends of Tomorrow, which it looks like, the other actors are doing. But I really am bummed that I'm not going to see Firestorm anymore. I hope they can figure out a way to have Firestorm on the show or have him still in the Arrowverse without getting rid of him. So the next thing I want to talk about is the totems. Now, the totems were a big part of this season because Mallus is trapped, and they use time is his prison, but they use the totems. Only the 6 that have the totems can trap him. And I thought that was I really liked that aspect of it because I love magic inside any world, and the DC universe as well. But I really just felt like the totems, they did play a big part of the season, especially in the back half, and I do like them, and I really wish they would have started off and just kept going with those. But you have the spirit totem, or the Anansi totem, which went to Amaya, the water totem, which Kawas had it, and we'll talk about her, which eventually went to Ray, the fire totem, which went to Mick, the earth totem, which went to Nate, the air totem, which Azari had from the beginning, and then the death totem, which went to Damien Dark. Now, these totems, I like these totems. I hope that, I think we're going to see him in the next season just because it looks like Constantine will be in season 4, which I love. I love Constantine. I love him on the show. I wish his show would have stayed on longer, and then I wish that they would have had the Justice League Dark on there. That would have been so great. I love Justice League Dark, but we're not talking about that right now. But the totems, they're fine. I'm pretty sure they're going to be in the next season, but I wish they would kind of like take a step back. But but if they're doing magic next season, I'm all on board. I love magic in this kind of world. So, the first thing I want to go over the secondary / reoccurring characters that weren't in the main cast, but they might be next season, and we'll go over all of them. And so Rip, who is not on the show, and I have to tell you right now, I'm liking Rip less and less, especially since he's not a main character anymore. I just feel that his motives are always just like not that great and everything. You've got Ava, who, I mean, I didn't really like Ava Sharp as a character. I felt like she was very one-dimensional and just very, like, no nonsense, and she was, I just didn't like her. Her relationship with Sarah, which we will get into that in a little bit, too, but it was nice, but at the same time, it was kind of like, whatever, and everything. I know a lot of people did like their relationship. We'll talk about that in a minute. I'll get into the relationships in a minute. And then Gary, who was, I felt like this was just a dumb character. I didn't like Gary. I didn't like the Time Bureau at all. But I did feel that something was necessary, and I felt like the Legends did more than the Time Bureau. I mean, we didn't hear anything about the Time Bureau doing anything as far as fixing anachronisms, but they were there, I guess, doing their part. Then you've got Leo, and he is the Captain Cold from Earth X, which we'll talk about the crossover right after this and everything. But I just really... I didn't like this character, Leo. I thought he was too happy for a Captain Cold. I like Captain Cold from season 1, but not the hero. I like the villain Captain Cold, and I really wish they wouldn't have changed that. I think bringing on Firestorm and Captain Cold as members of the Legions was just a horrible idea. Then I want to talk about Gideon. She's pretty much the same as she's always been. She's just good old Gideon. I do miss the hologram face that they had, the head that would come up every now and then. I do miss that, and I really wish they would do that. But I wish they would use the actress that plays her's head, or if she just showed up as a holographic, the woman that plays her, or that does her voice. Then I want to talk about Constantine. Constantine is great. I love Constantine. I love the guy that plays him on the show. I love the character from the comic books. I just, like I said, I love the whole, like, supernatural world of it all. And I just really hope that they keep with this, but not overdo it to where people get, sick of it. And then the last of the secondary characters I'm going to talk about is Wally West. Now, the thing that is, I like Wally West, but I think that they've really just gotten into this weird realm with Wally West, I think, because they don't know what to do with him, so they put him on Legends. But one thing that I don't like is the character, like, he just does really good, like, he just says stuff to... I'm trying to think of a good example. I should have wrote it down before I did this. But, like when he's talking to Amaya and Zari, and they're going to do meditation. And the meditation thing is so weird. You okay, buddy? You okay? The meditation thing is so weird. I just really wish... And then when he calls Amaya a basic bitch, like, what is that? That's so, like... I mean, he should have known. So Nate should have told him that it was Amaya. But anyway, but Wally West, I am excited to see him in next season. I really just feel like they should do powers more often, and Wally West won't get to use his powers in season 4 because it costs. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is the main characters, and I want to talk about my least favorite to my favorite as far as the show goes. And my least favorite is Zari. I know that they brought her on the show because of the amulet that she has, and in the comic books, that amulet is not the air totem of the Anansi tribes. But this character I feel like is either wasted or she's just bad because I don't like her on the show. I just feel like this entire time she's just a big waste of space. I don't think she brings anything to the team. I know they had that one episode where they were stuck in the time loop and it was trying to show what she brings to the team, but the whole time I was like, I really wish this was any character but Zari. She's just so, I feel like she's just not needed, and I know she did that, she hacks time, but what is that? Let's just be honest and be real about stuff. So the next after that is Nate. I really, I don't dislike Nate, but I just really like, when it comes to him and Ray, I always go, those two are always the characters that go, like, when there's Star Wars, the Star Wars thing, or Indiana Jones, or Camelot, or stuff like that. It's always those two that we're interested in it when they were younger. Everybody else, nobody else goes, oh my God, I used to love Abba when I was little, or oh, I used to, it was just. But Nate, getting back to Nate, his relationship with Amaya, and we'll get into relationships in a minute because I think that was a big theme this season, is that he's a selfish individual. I really believe so, and I think that he just doesn't he only thinks about himself, and he doesn't do anything to try to stop himself. And I'm talking about him and Amaya, and I don't want to talk about it right now because I'm going to talk about all the relationships in just one second. But moving on to Amaya, she's my next one that I don't like. I do like her. I do like Amaya. I do like Vixen on the show. I really wish that she would just go back to 1940, whatever she was from, because I really do feel like she's played her part, and we're done with her. Except I really do feel like all the characters that are on now will be on next season, because we might lose one. We might lose Amaya because Constantine is coming onto the show. So I do really feel like I feel like she's played her part, and again with her and Nate, she's being a selfish individual also. So the next one I want to talk about is Ray. I do like Ray, but Ray is too goofy for me sometimes. Like, I'm just like, he's all like, oh, water is the strongest element. It's so strong. Did you know the body is made 60% water? And it's like, yeah, Ray, you're annoying. Please go away and everything. He's okay. I really don't know what else to say about him. Mick Rory, Heatwave. I love Heatwave. He's funny. I don't like that he's writing a love novel or a sex novel or whatever it was, his Fabio cover novel. I don't like it. That seems like a really weird move for the character. And but I love him. He's funny. He says really funny stuff. He has a very I don't care attitude, and I like that a lot about him. But my favorite out of the crew of the Wave Rider is Sarah. I really feel like she's such a strong leader. She's a strong captain. Yeah, she's got her demons from her past, and she's got her emotional problems with her relationship with Ava, but I really do like her as a character. I think that she's strong, and she knows she's strong, and she's not afraid to do whatever it is to kick butt. So then I want to move on to the villains, and I want to talk about, we'll start with Kawasa. I do like, Kawasa's not my least favorite. I'm not doing the least favorites. I'm just going to talk about all of them. But Kawasa, I really liked her as a bad guy, and I'm really bummed that she got killed off. I thought that she was headed towards redemption, and she got it a little bit, but I really wish she would have not been killed and died. I really wish she just would have left and went to join the Legends, and then went back to Detroit to find Vixen, her sister. But she died, and that's how it is. Because her sister never got to see her become a hero, per se. And then I want to talk about Grodd. I don't know why Grodd was in this season. Like, he's not a magic user, and he's nothing to do with magic. I'm just so confused on why they brought him into this season. But he was there, and, oh well, I'm not a brown cow. Then I want to talk about Nora Dark, who was the vessel for Mallus, and she was good, but I just really felt like her character was just also one-dimensional. Then Damien Dark. I don't like Damien Dark. Never have liked Damien Dark. I'm probably not going to like Damien Dark next season if he's on there. I just don't like him. He's just a complete waste of space in my opinion. I've never read him in the comic books, but I guess he's there, and I just don't like him. Then Mallus. I am glad that they finally showed Mallus, and I understand that they didn't show him until now, the ending, because he was all CG, but I just really just wish they would have went with a different bad guy. I like the demon aspect. I like the supernatural. I've already said this before, but I like the supernatural. And I do like his look at the end. It was very bull-like with the wings and everything. And I did like it, and and everything. Okay, so next I want to talk about one theme that I found throughout this season, and that is relationships. And I want to talk about, the first relationship I want to talk about is Nate and Amaya. Okay, and I talked about it before, and I thought they were both selfish individuals. And this is why I thought they were both selfish individuals. Because, one, Nate should have realized that Amaya was off limits, and cut it off. But he kept going back there. He kept going back there, and he kept saying, "Oh, I have feelings for Amaya. I know she's got it." But he should have realized he was not a part of her life until she got on the Wave Rider, and he should have realized that was her destiny, that was her life, and he should have went away. He should have said, "You know what? I'm going to keep this professional. She is my teammate. She is my friend. Yes, we had our relationship, but I have to realize that it's over." And Amaya should have realized that as well. She should have been like, "Okay, no, I'm on this team. This is how it's got to be, or my family suffers." And we saw that through Vixen not getting the totem. But what would have happened if she would have went with Nate? She would have not had Amaya because she wouldn't have had her daughter, and I don't remember what her daughter's name is. But I just think that they're both selfish individuals, and I mean, it'll get fixed by the end because, Vixen needs to be around. But I just the whole time watching them, they make me so mad because they can't get their feelings in check. And I understand that feelings are not necessarily something that you can control 100%, but they need to be able to just move on. When you break up with somebody and you realize that they don't want to be with you, then maybe you need to move on. And these two should have realized that they can't be together, so it's time to move on. But they don't, because they're, like I said, they're human, but they're selfish humans. Next, I want to talk about Sarah and Ava. Now, this was a good relationship. I thought they were kind of cute and everything, but the problem is Ava. They just couldn't get their crap. They can't get their crap together, and I'm sorry. I just can't deal with that. I'm sorry. You just need to be like, I like you. You got your demons, but we're together. And then they had that breakup, and I'm sorry. Like, people are all like crying over that stuff, and I just go, it's so dumb. Okay, they're breaking up. How many times are they going to do this? I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's get back together, break up, get back. I mean, they had a cute flirtation, and then they had their date, and it was super cute, and then they got together, and you're like, yay, and then they broke up for the dumbest reasons, and it's just annoying, but we'll see how that goes. And the last relationship that I want to talk about is Damien and Nora Dark. And I resonate with this because I have a daughter, and I think that Damien, towards the end there, he really wanted to protect his daughter, and he really just wanted to end this because he said, this is my baby girl, and I don't want this anymore, and this is not what I got in for. I didn't get in for my daughter to be taken away from me again. I got into this, or he got taken away the first time. I got into this because I wanted to free Mallus, and I didn't realize what the price was, and I'm not willing to pay that price. And so finally, the last thing I want to talk about is the season finale. And now that I've mentioned everything before, I want to mention the season finale because we did get a lot of resolutions to some things. The first thing I want to talk about is, I talked about Rip Hunter before, and I want to talk about him again and his sacrifice. I'm kind of glad that he sacrificed himself, but I didn't want him to die, which I don't think he's dead. I think he's just one of those things, like he's trapped somewhere in time, maybe a time prison of some sorts, but I didn't want him to die. I just want him to go away, because he was kind of like, he was just there, but I believe the actor is on a different TV show, and that's why he isn't on the Legends very much and everything, but I do not believe he is dead. I do believe he was sucked into that little time thing, because Mallus didn't die in there, and I know that Mallus is a demon, and the only way to defeat him is the totems, but I do believe that Rip is still dead. I mean, alive. One thing that I do want to talk about is the fact that this show, in the finale, the show is so cheap, in my opinion. When it comes to, like, the finale was, in my opinion, with that big fight with the Romans and the pirates and the Vikings and the big fights, it's just so cheap. And one thing that I don't like that they do is Wally West. They don't use his powers enough, and I understand that that costs money, but don't bring a huge character like that onto a show and then not use his powers, especially in a fight like that. And I just go, if you need more money for the budget, maybe you need to stop having so many legends on the show. I mean, maybe knock down a couple legends and boost up the budget. now I want to talk about the totems and the creature making portion that they did. The first creature they made was really disgusting and everything, but the second one they made was Bebo, and I've already talked about Bebo and how stupid I think he is. And they made Bebo, and it was just dumb in my opinion. I mean, I know they want to. A lot of people have compared it to Ghostbusters with thinking of the Marshmallow Man. But I didn't like it. I thought it was stupid, and I really wish that I just felt like for me, it was anticlimactic. I didn't like it at all. And that last fight, I really feel like it would have been better if it wasn't Bebo and everything. Like, right now off the top of my head, I can't think of what they could have made that would have been better. But, I mean, yeah, Bebo was just stupid, and his whole love you hugs and everything. I didn't like it, and I really wish they would have rethought that situation. I mean, I know a lot of people online did like Bebo and that whole fight, but I just didn't like it. So then finally, Amaya went back to Zambezi, and I know I talked about that before, about how I thought they were selfish and everything, but I wanted to get those thoughts out so I could get to this thought. I'm glad that they brought Amaya back, but I think that she's going to be on the show again. I believe the girl that plays Sarah, I can't remember her name off the top of my head, she said at some kind of convention that Amaya's character... she'd be a new character or whatever. I believe she said something like that. So if she comes back, I'll kind of be a little annoyed because I don't want her to be... If she's not Vixen, then don't bring her back for something else. That's just weird. And then, so now finally I want to just talk about... Season 4 and what's going ahead. And you saw at the end, Constantine is coming onto the show, and he brought a dragon. It looked like a dragon's head, but it could have been a demon. And I'm excited for this because I've stated in this and many times in the past that I do like the whole magic aspect of DC and Marvel and every other thing. I just like it. I don't believe in all that stuff, but I do like it. And I just really feel like the next season is going to be really good as far as going forward. And I'm excited to see what happens. So what did you guys think of Season 3 of Legends of Tomorrow? How did you like my review? Did you agree with me on some stuff? Did you disagree? Let me know down below. And I mean... you can like this video if you want. If you don't, I understand. Subscribe if you feel the need. If not, I totally get it. And I hope you have a great day, and I will check you guys later. Bye.